But how did I get into professional wrestling training? I'm pretty sure I've covered the story on. I'm pretty sure I've told it on here before, but I guess just in case there's new listeners and it was overlooked, and the whole 10 followers that were at the very beginning, I'll tell it again. Okay, so I wanted to be a football player and a preacher. Okay, right? Clear about that? Football player and a preacher. You can see that. No?
Yeah.
You do because you know me.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. How many times I have to tell Jacob in here the other day, don't use the Lord's name in vain?
Oh,
Every
yeah.
time, GD. I'm like, Jacob. His Uncle Reno's like that too, to County California. He'll say the same thing. I'll be like, please, you could go say F your mom, everything, whatever. Don't say GD in it, but whatever. That's whatever. So, but, football player and a preacher. This is when I was a kid. I gave sermons every 2 weeks, maybe every 3 weeks, in a church in Deerfield and Pompano. Can't remember which one it was because I went to 2 different churches. And my memory's kind of gone. But I used to get up there and give they would let me do like a little 10-minute sermon part, cover something in the Bible, like a chapter, a verse, or something like that. So I very much wanted to wrestle, or be a football and be a preacher. Never had dreams of pro wrestling or anything like that. Then my brother died. He drowned when my dad came to pick me up. It was a lightning storm one day right in South Florida. Of course, there's always lightning. I had a flat tire on my bicycle. And my dad, I called from a payphone because he goes, I know the lightning. I go, yeah, I got a flat tire. I wouldn't have called you. I was only like 5 minutes away. But I couldn't stand that lightning. It was popping that day. And my dad ran out, came and picked me up. I know this is a long story, but it's the only way I know how to tell stories. He comes out, picks me up, and we get home. My mom's in a panic, hollering and freaking out. Where's my little brother Michael? Dad's like, I just ran out here to go get him, but he always wanted my dad everywhere, so everybody assumed he was with my dad. Like that 5 minutes. It wasn't even 10 minutes total, the round trip. And he drowned in the pool. We had like this above ground jaggy pool. The ladder was down. The storms came in. I don't know if the wind or something kicked the latch off the ladder, but the ladder was down. He climbed it and drowned in the pool. He was like, I can't remember how old he was. 3 years old, 3 years old. Three, maybe 3, 4. I don't know. He's old enough to climb and stuff like that. And so that happened. So my brother died. So that kind of started me upset with God and stuff like that and different things. And then kind of like what the hell, blaming myself. Didn't know what to think about all that. Just watched my whole family start kind of falling apart. Then I broke my neck playing football, and they told me that this is Pop Warner. I'm like 12, 13 years old. They're like, you're never gonna play any sports again. You can't do any sports. Blah 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 blah. So now I'm like, I'm just mad, angry, confused. Don't know what to do. Certainly, I was really pissed at God, and but just in a weird spot in life. So I can. This is a whole long story, but I might as well just go and tell. I've already told it once, but I'll go through it again. So I'm mad and angry with God, right? So later, I remember I had gotten a Ozzy Osbourne LP record. It was called "Speak of the Devil." It's a devil like LP or something. But Mr. Crowley was on there, and song Mr. Crowley they were singing. Mr. Crowley, what goes on in your head? Did you taco the day? Supposedly he ate live. He ate human flesh, this and that. And he was into Satan, whatever. So I was playing that over and over in my room, cussing God out and stuff like that. And I went to sleep. I woke up maybe 10 minutes later, and there was a wall of fire. My bed was literally on fire around my feet. There was a wall of fire. It wasn't on the wall. It was a wall of fire in front of the wall. I wake up, I see all the trophies melt, everything melts. I freak out, But the first thing I looked at was my trophies. I was laying there, I wake up, I see the fire here, but what do? I look at the trophies. Because that's what, I was very vain, false. I don't know, I wanted to play football. I was mad at God. I looked right up there, and it was like they waited for me, and they just all melted. It's like looking at these action figures, and then they just all melt, just like that. So, very movie-like. It sounds crazy, but it's true. I go get everybody out of the house, blah, blah, blah. My mom cusses at me. The house is on fire. We get everybody out. 60, 70%, I don't know, the house is burnt. From my room on, it's burnt. And, I don't even know how I got into this, but I'm going to tell you about a wrestling story. But I was just going to tell you how I got into wrestling. But, so that's burnt. And the firemen come and they go, "Whose room is that?" Blah blah blah. My mom. And I think I've told all this on here. I don't even know why I'm telling this again, but they basically, I'm gonna cut this short. They're gonna drag it up there. They drag it up there. He says, "Is that yours?" They point at a thing. There was a Bible in the room on a nightstand. Everything was burnt, but that Bible on that nightstand wasn't even wet from the firemen putting the fire out and stuff like that. And I was just a little smart ass, and I said, "Thank goodness," because my Ozzy Osbourne Iron Maiden tickets are in there. The fireman was disgusted with me. So, like, he's a miracle happened. He's seen a miracle. Yeah. Whatever. So, boom, that happened. So, I got away from wanting to wrestle or play football and be a preacher. So, now I was angry. I couldn't play football because of the broken neck. Preacher, I was mad at God. So, I got into some bad stuff because, you know, I wanted to play football, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't get signatures on forms and stuff like that. And I actually got caught trying to play JV football. And that got shut down really fast. So I was angry. So when that house burned out, I kind of moved in with an uncle. And then I never really moved back in. So at 13, 14, I moved out of home and never lived back at home again with my parents. So basically, it was living with my uncle, which is like being on your own. So eventually, I quit school. I got a girl pregnant. You know, I was running the streets, thinking my yin-yang and anything I could. You know, just being a kid, a bad kid, like, you know, like troublesome kid, you know, and angry, chip on the shoulder, fighting every day. You're not trouble, you know. But with the baby coming, I ended up leaving school and I had to get a job. And I was actually looking for a better construction job. I was actually looking through the papers and it said, be a pro wrestler. Make money on the weekends. And I was like, oh, cool. Go beat somebody up, make some money on the weekends. Have bad attitude and chip on my shoulder. So
sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, all right. Better than digging this ditch, I thought. Like, so I'm gonna roll on down there. And it was Boris Malenko and Rusty Brooks. Boris Malenko gave me the tour. And I remember walking around and it was up on top of a racquetball court. So you look down, you can see them all training. I seen a couple people. One of the guys like became my tag partner. Black eye. I see these other guys. And I'm like, okay, I can hang with them. I can take him. I can hang, you know. Cocky in my head. I didn't say it out loud or anything, but I was like, yeah, head nod. Boom, I pulled that 300 cash out, gave it to him. That's all I got right here. He goes, that's all you need. So for the down payment, you had to make payments. So I get in and and I'm getting to the wrestling training pit right here. So I get in and like 3 weeks go by and then Rusty comes up to me and he goes, and granted, in this 3 weeks, I'm wondering like I'm going, why am I giving this person my arm and it might break my arm? Like, why would I just let him take my arm? And why am I letting them, like, why roll me to the, I go, there must be some defensive stuff they're going to teach me here to set it up. But I didn't question the process. I did, but I didn't say it out loud. But in my head, those 3 weeks was the most confusing 3 weeks. I'm like, why am I doing, why, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, wouldn't do this in a fight. But I said, this must all be going to lead to something. And then Rusty came to me and he goes, hey, man, I got to ask you something. He goes, do you think this is, he didn't say the word back then. Do you think this is, you know? And then I go, you know what? Like, he goes, you know? And I go,
did you know?
No, I didn't know. So I was like, oh, what? No, man, I'm out of here. And he goes, oh, why? What do you? I said, no, man. If you're telling me, you're going to tell me who wins or loses everything. I means I am not going to be wrestling soon. Right away, I saw the picture because originally I went there. It was money driven. I wanted to fight and make money on the weekends. I admit it. I didn't know. I was 17 years old. I mean, I had grew up really fast in the streets, so I didn't watch wrestling since I was 13 on from that point. You know, like, so only memories I have as a kid. You know, when I saw Ron Bass in Disney World, I didn't go flip and bother Ron Bass. My mom says, why didn't you ask for an autograph? I go, hell no, that's Ron Bass. He'll beat me up. So, in my mind, wrestling was still legit and stuff. So, and I wasn't going to deal with that. So I was like, wait. And he's like, no, don't. I said, I can't do this. I quit. Can I get my 300 back? He goes, no, you're not getting your 300 back. No refunds. He goes, but I wish you wouldn't quit. Don't leave. And I go, hey, man, I just don't see where this is going to work for me. And I'm struggling enough to come up with this money to pay you. And then Rusty said, listen, you're not even trying. And you're getting it on the first time around better than the other guys. Because you're not even trying. He goes, you just naturally you just pick these moves up and you just like a lot like pages, right?
Yeah, okay.
right? Just like, I'm not saying I'm as good as her. I'm just saying a lot like it was just you show me one time, I get it. But in my head, I'd be like, why am I giving him my damn arm? Like, won't he break it? Like, but it was just something that clicked and stuff like that. And I had a lot of anger, so the emotions came out. But so he said, listen, don't quit. You don't have to pay anymore. Just stay. Don't leave. But always promise. This is what I'm getting to the thing. Always promise to get back to wrestling. He says, I'm gonna put you down as a trainer here, and you stay on and train after, but just always continue to get to professional wrestling. So, and that is the main reason that I've always showed up at wrestling schools everywhere I go. And I don't like to do seminars and stuff like that because I don't really like to be paid for them. I mean, I am now. It's like a job. I mean, CCW takes great care of me, but just trying to get back and teach, right? So I'm very grateful because pro wrestling saved my life because I was destined for the streets. Like even though I was looking for a job or construction, I was still into shady things and doing stuff that wasn't like on the up, and I was still bound to catch a bullet and get clipped, where I grew up, it wasn't the greatest of the worlds, but like I also chose to align myself with the worst subjects in that neighborhood, and not the good ones on the outlying neighborhoods. I just tended to gravitate to the more rougher and side of life there, and so wrestling it saved me. I mean, I've been wrestling ever since that day. I think probably a month later I had a match. Started having matches, yes, a month into training, and I don't know if it was like 3 months. I was doing TV matches for Global and WWE as a job guy, an enhancement guy, getting the crap kicked out of me. But that promise I made, and I kept it. Rest in peace, Rusty, and Boris Malenko. Both of them are gone now. Then first Malenko, then Rusty. But so I've kept that promise. But now, no, it's a passion now because I've grown to love professional. Like I loved it. I just was a kid as I loved it. I thought it was real. I was confused what was going on there. So.